A new science-based app for dating. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. It is called Endgame, an innovative dating app created by women entrepreneurs, including licensed therapist and educator Dr. Baxlee Bynum. Hi, Baxlee.
Hi,
Pleasure to meet you. Let's get an overview to start off with of what Endgame is and how it's different.
absolutely. So Endgame is a dating app that we have created to change the game. So we are using a visually based questionnaire to help understand people and their ultimate goals in dating and using a unique algorithm to match with other people who are most similar in their communication styles, life goals, lifestyles, inherent personality traits to hopefully create healthy and long term matches and move beyond the shallow kind of matching systems we see today.
So, how does the visual decision-making process work?
Mhm. So we have set up a little assessment for our users to come on and tell us about themselves. And we decided to make it fun with pictures and visual cues. So how it works is you have a series of photos, a series of 50 sets. And of the two photos, you get a pair. You choose this or that. Which one matches you best? So you will choose the photos, and then at the end, it kind of puts you into a system where you match with other people who had similar answers.
And is there more to the customer experience? Maybe you can step us through just a little bit. So obviously they would download the app.
Oh, yes. Okay. So they download the app, they come on. We have a normal onboarding system, just like any app. So you would share your deal breakers, a little bit about yourself, your demographics. And then you move into our visual questionnaire. You go into the this or that. It feels really fun. It's actually kind of like a game. So the questions pop up and you just see these two photos and which one appeals to you most. And some of the photos are really similar to each other. And it kind of forces our users to think of the two, I could enjoy both, but which one would I enjoy more? And this could be um, communication styles, this could be destinations, this could be dating preferences for date nights or dating activities. And it helps, I think, our users get to know themselves first. And then find a pool of people who have similar interests and similar responses so they can, I don't know, move forward in this self awareness, I think.
So tell us about your role, the role of behavioral science, and how all this came together.
Yes. So I am so lucky to work with two other women, Candace and Megan, and we creatively came up with this approach to assess people based on their core personality traits, their visions for the future, um, styles in communication, and just interactions. And we developed kind of pillars of what we think are the most important in relationships. So, Megan and I both have backgrounds in mental health and counseling. I studied psychology for years, and I have practiced marriage and family counseling for years as well. So I used my knowledge of what makes relationships last, what causes people to be most compatible with each other, and created this assessment that would place people in specific areas so that they can easily match with people who are similar in those areas. And it's been a really cool process. So coming in with my background in mental health, counseling, psychology, and marriage and family counseling, we're really utilizing our knowledge of how we realize and understand relationship compatibility and how apps actually match people with a dating companion.
And what are you learning from your customers so far?
We are learning a lot. So we did some market research ahead of creating ahead of the creation, we did some market research where we just sent out a survey and asked people, how is your experience with dating in general? How is your experience with dating apps right now? What do you like about them? What would you change about them? What are the biggest struggles that you're having while finding people online or through apps? And what we learned from our respondents were a lot of people felt like their matches were really superficial. They felt that's one, like that was one theme that came out of it. Another theme that came out of our market research is that people really believed that dating apps were a place where people misrepresented themselves. So you heard the term catfishing. A lot of people felt like it was easy to catfish. It was easy to portray yourself as someone that you might not necessarily be, with photos, with really well curated responses, with text heavy profiles. You're representing yourself in a way, and that is what people see and that is what people match with. And a lot of our respondents to the market research survey was that they feel like it's tough to really know a person and who they are based on their profile. So they match with a lot of people, they experience dates or just back and forth communication and realize they're actually not who they represented themselves to be, or maybe they just didn't realize they've created a version of this person in their mind. The matches didn't work out, and then they were left a little bit disappointed with a failed match more often than not.
How are you able to overcome some of these things and verify people are who they say they are and what they and what they are?
That's another good question because there are bots out there in the app space. To address that problem, we decided, well, if we just do an assessment that's visually based and pretty quick, people's instincts show what they gravitate towards most, and that puts them in kind of a personality category, which matches them with similar people. So we have decided, instead of the text heavy profile, instead of the series of photos that people swipe through and see first, we would do the assessment to see who you are at your core, what your goals are at your core for dating, and then move our users to a place where they can then see the photos and whatever responses our users want to put on their profile. So first is that core matching, and then you see the profiles, and then you can read and look at the photos, which attraction is important. And we do want to hear from our users. All of that is very important. But the difference here is our users go through a personality assessment first. And it's a fun one because it's with the photos. In addition to that, we have a patent pending technology feature in our app that shows time stamping. And what that does for us is it shows us how long it takes a user to answer the questions in our visual assessment. So if it is absolutely too fast, then we flag it. We know it's a bot or someone that's not a person, an AI. Or if they answer too slow, we realize that maybe it is a person, but they're having a hard time deciding, and that would key into how they're placed in our algorithm. So our timestamping feature really helps us differentiate the people from the robots, A, and B, how well a person is doing in their assessment, and if they might need to retake it later on or something like that. So I think that we're really proud of that feature because it helps it helps us a lot, and it also helps protect our users.
Tell us about pricing and availability.
Yep, the app can be found on the Apple App Store and Google Play right now. There is a free version that people can use and engage with right now. We don't really believe in um, putting a price on the matching system that other apps may use and categorize people based on their membership or their membership level. Right now, we're a free app and we welcome all.
And is it going to, it'll move to a subscription or another pricing model? I
I
mean,
think that there are a lot of details that we're still working out with that, but right now we don't want to limit our users to memberships or pricing levels.
Interesting. So, what about the challenges of building? And I guess this is one of the strategies, the non-pricing model you have, the challenges of building a big enough customer base for a dating app really to appeal to the many, because you've got to have people, right?
Got to have people, and there's a challenge in that there are so many dating apps out there. So the question that we had in the beginning, we have this amazing idea. We want to make the dating app space um, better. We want to make matches last longer. We want to change the scene. And we have personal experiences and friendship experiences of people telling us about their times and experience with the apps. We want to make that a better and healthier place. So our main question was, how do we do that and also stand out from do it differently? There are a lot of options. A lot of apps are really successful, and we're proud of other app success, but how is ours different? So that was our main question. And I think matching people from based on core personality traits and end goals is the way that we're really standing out. We are trying to make our matching process more authentic and more true and authentic to the person and what they need and want for a long-term match. We want our what we really, really want the most is to encourage people to date intentionally and authentically. And we saw the problem with some of the other apps in the market is that it just wasn't very authentic and it wasn't as intentional. So that was a big challenge to come up to get over how to make things different and better.
So, we hear about AI everywhere these days. Is that playing some kind of a role here too?
We utilize an algorithm that the algorithm matches people and it is AI based. And with our time stamping, we can realize there are people have like there are differentials in our response rates and our response times. So that really actually has been helpful to us in matching people based on their answers and also their time it takes to respond.
So, what are your thoughts, just professionally? But you read all these stories these days about loneliness and people opting for digital AI companions rather than human companions. Tell us what your thoughts are about that. And I guess this is one way to combat some of that.
Absolutely. I think that there's no replacement for human connection. I think that engaging with anybody or anything when you're at a deep, deep low is ultimately positive. But at the end of the day, in the long term, for the longevity of time, there's no replacement for human connection. And this is inherent in all of us. This is an inherent need that we have as human beings, as animals, that we have to be connected to at least one or two other people. We don't have to have a huge social network, but we do need to feel connected to at least another person. And I think that chatbots and chatting features are positive, but they can only maintain our need for connection for so long. I think that our app asks people to date with intention, to date with respect, and to date authentically. And hopefully, that process and the assessment that we set up to match people with the most compatible based on inherent traits will serve for matches that last the longevity of time.
Terrific. So, where can everyone go for more info?
Absolutely. You can find us on our website, endgame.dating, or on the App Store, Endgame Dating, or on Google Play, Endgame Dating. We also have an Instagram site that is at endgame_dating.
And again, it's Endgame, ENDGAME. Baxlee Bynum, congratulations on the innovations and thanks for taking time with us.
Thank you so much, Fred.